Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. This game, some people would consider it kind of a black sheep in the Zelda family because it has a few things that are, well, unique to most Zelda games, like for example some platforming and RPG elements, but honestly I love this game, and I've probably beat it, I don't know, at least a few dozen times in my lifetime, so kind of have a little strategy that's a little different than most, and it does involve some grinding, which I will do off screen, but there's a very good reason for that, which you'll see in a later episode. Anyways, the music is really good, I like the music, and the graphics, well, they're better, I think, as far as 1987 goes. They're, to me, better than the original Legend of Zelda, but at any rate, we've got kind of a story here. So it's pretty straightforward. We have to go through and go through 6 palaces to break the seal, to go to a 7th palace, to get some Triforce, to wake up the princess, etc. So I'm going to start the game as Valkorn, as usual. And when we start it, you'll see initially that, well, first of all, we have 3 lives here, and that's good. But basically, the princess is asleep here in kind of a palace. And you can see we kind of have an overworld map here, with little enemies here that we can run into for battles. Now there is kind of a little trick to that, which I'll get to later in this episode. But first we got our towns. And towns are pretty straightforward. There's always going to be some sort of some sort of spell to learn. Some of the towns will have certain skills to learn as well. And each town is going to have someone that can heal you and someone that can, you know, give you more magic. This is going to be our first spell, by the way. So, a brief word about the stats. You can see at the top here on the left-hand side, we've got the attack power, and then we've got our magic power and life power. And first, let's talk to this wizard. We won't be using that magic, probably, if at all. I don't know. At any rate, shield just basically increases your defense power. Now, your magic and life just means that, well, magic just means the higher the level for magic, the less magic each spell is going to use, and the same for life. You can get hit more. Anyways, on the right-hand side, on the top right, we have a experience point system to the next level. And I'm going to be doing a little grinding. The first priority for me is going to be getting the attack power up as high as possible. At any rate, in these towns you have a whole bunch of clues and whatnot, so you can kind of figure out what to do with the game. Now, I did say all towns. Well, let's just rephrase that and say most towns. There's going to be a particular town that's not going to have a whole lot for us. Now over here, there's kind of a little patch of forest that is by itself, but if I walk into a special patch while an enemy tries to attack me, I actually get another screen. So keep that in mind. That'll be very useful later on, with kind of a glitch or a little bug that's going to be useful. Now I'm going to go ahead and click cancel because I want the attack power. The attack power is going to take most of your points, by the way. Another weird thing about this game is that the enemies have some strange names to them. I mean, we obviously have the moblins here, but I can't remember the name of those little spider guys there. I'll have to look it up. The names are so weird that it's hard for me to memorize them all. Now here we've got kind of a cave that's dark, and there's a lobber here climbing around the ground that we have to watch out for. And it's right there. Well, not right there, but the slot before that, so, or the area before that. Well, anyways, you'll see it when we head back, so. Now we have our first palace. Each palace has this kind of opening to it, and each palace, well, most of them will have some sort of an infinitely spawning enemy somewhere. And here we've got a tin suit. A tin suit is a pretty easy enemy. They don't really hurt you, but they can take away experience. And I guess that's your punishment for getting hit by such an such an easy enemy, rather. With their attack power at 1 right now, it's going to take a lot of hits to get rid of anything. Including the Stalfos there. I like how a tin suit just decided to spawn in the middle of a dead end. You can easily jump over these guys. If we had a special skill that we'll get later, they'll be even more easier to deal with. Even more easy to deal with. Now, we needed the key over there to get through this door. Had you gone to the right first, you would have encountered the door, and you would have had to go left to get the key. Also, the bubbles here that I just passed by, they're actually defeatable. And I will be using that to my advantage in this episode. You get 50 experience every time you defeat a bubble. It takes a few hits, but you can get rid of them. I'm going to go all the way over to the right here and skip this little section for now. I always thought the music to the palaces was amazing. Now we got a blue jar, which will give us a little magic, but anyways, the bubbles take like 50 or 60 hits at attack power of 1. But you can get rid of them. And that's actually how I ground in this game. I actually, when I was young, I decided to get the levels as high as possible to make the game easier, so there's a particular section in this dungeon where, in this palace rather, where I pretty much defeated as many bubbles as I could to get my attack power up as high as possible. And so I'm going to do that here, but I'm not going to go overboard. Now our attack power is at 2, which is going to help us a little bit. And the brilliant thing is the more your attack power goes up, the easier it is to defeat the bubbles, so it starts accelerating there. Now over here's a fairy. Might as well get it. A little dead end. We will need that key. The bots are easy to defeat, of course, but they progressively get worse with some of the palaces in the future. Now here we've got an interesting enemy. I think this is called the Doom Riddle or Doom Rattle. At any rate, he kind of throws little maces at you. And he gives you 50 experience points, which is nice. And here you can get a red jar if you need it, but we don't need it. I always thought it was neat how these tin suits just kind of bounced around. Can't really get rid of them yet, but there we go. At this point, I'm going to show you basically what I did to grind for experience points, but I have to get to that certain spot yet. Also, here's kind of a neat glitch. If you go left to right to a certain point where a bubble spawns, sometimes it will just ride up and down the edge of the screen. And I just want to get past this guy without losing magic, so I'm going to go ahead and kill him. Why not? And there you have it. Another 50 experience points. Now at this point I'm going to grind until my attack power is about 4, so that's going to really help for the next area. And that's what I did to grind, so we're we're gonna get a whole lot more experience points in other areas of the game, so. Also, another thing is once you hit the enemy, the bubble, a little bit, it will actually become invincible for a brief period of time, and you can use that to your advantage. These point bags are easy to get. You don't have to worry about falling into the lava if you're just quick enough for that. And that's instant death lava, of course. Another doom rattle here. And now the iron knuckle. The iron knuckle's easy. Just jump and shoot, jump and fire, jump and swing. Those are the that's the easiest strategy to get rid of them. Because for whatever reason, its shield is down when you jump up, and then when you come back down, the shield is still down, so that let's just say it works. So that they're defenseless, rather. Really, for the first palace, you don't really need any magic spells at all. The bubbles are pretty predictable. I mean, they're just going to bounce at around 45-degree angles, so. If you're good with geometry, you can kind of figure out where they're going to hit you. Or when. You may be wondering why I'm going out of the dungeon. Well, I'm going to solve... I'm going to get rid of this dungeon, get the crystal in this dungeon later. For a good reason. There's kind of one thing I want to show off. Because there's not a whole lot of times you're going to see a particular thing that I'm going to show off with a particular boss enemy of this level, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and exit, and I'll finish this level in a future video. Also, you don't have to do the palaces in order either, although some of the items kind of make sure that you have to do it in a particular order, but you can still get the items and come back later, so I wanted to show that off as well. But if you go down here, there's kind of a little dead end, and there's a special item down here that I definitely want. Also, watch out for these little bubbles, because if you get hit next to the edge, it can actually knock you into the water, and that's also an instant death because Link obviously cannot swim. Well, at least not in this game. And over here we have a heart container. So this wraps up the first episode of Let's Play Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. So when we exit this, I'm gonna get ready for the next episode. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.